Hare Krishna, good evening, welcome all of you all for the Saturday evening Bhagavatam class. So we just started the ninth chapter in the first canto, that is Bhishma Suti. So we'll start, we did I think 2 or 3 verses last time, but we'll repeat it so that we have the continuity of the whole class. So I want someone to read the translation of 1.9.1. Yeah.
Sutta Goswami said, being afraid for having killed so many subjects on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Maharaj Yudhishthira went to the scene of the massacre. There Vishnudev was lying on a bed of arrows about to pass away.
Yes. So he is just mentioning, Sukadeva Goswami is just mentioning that how having killed everyone, Yudhishthira was sad. He was having his own despondency. अरे मैंने इतने लोगों को मार दिया. सेम भगवत गीता का टाइम पे जो अर्जुन का बिफोर द वॉर के जो हालत था, या आफ्टर द वॉर भीष्म पितामह सॉरी अपना युधिष्ठिर महाराज was feeling the same situation. And this time Krishna did not repeat भगवत गीता. मतलब एक बार तो बोल दिया, बार बार कम बोला. तो एक बार बोल दिया, अभी कौन बोलेगा? अब जो भी बोलेगा, let's go to भीष्म पितामह. He takes him to भीष्म पितामह. Yes, next verse.
At that time, all his brothers followed him on beautiful chariots drawn by first-class horses decorated with gold ornaments. With them were Vyasa and rishis like Dhaumya,
Yes.
the learned priest of Pandavas, and others.
Yeah. Now go read 2 more verses, Prabhuji, please.
O sage amongst the Brahmanas, Lord Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, also followed, seated on a chariot with Arjuna. Thus, King Yudhishthira appeared very aristocratic, like Kuvera surrounded by his companions.
Yeah. So here Sukadeva Goswami is describing how they were having a beautiful chariot, first class horses, and Yudhishthira was nicely decorated as a Chakravarti king. Now, what is the specific reason why is Sukadeva Goswami mentioning this? What was the pratigya taken by Bhishma Pitama? कि जब तक हस्तिनापुर की सिंहासन को सही राजा, सही व्यक्ति के हाथ में न दूं, तब तक मैं प्राण नहीं छोड़ूंगा. तो now it is time that he has to leave his body. So that is why Krishna has told him, get ready, come. So there are 2 reasons. Reason 1, Yudhishthira was sad. Second reason, he wanted to show Bhishma Pitama, now don't worry, the kingdom is in the right hands. You can leave your body, because he was as it is lying on the bed of arrows. बाणों की शैया पे लेट के डर हो रहा था, but फिर भी वो बैठे थे देखने के लिए कि भाई I have handed over at the right time, the right person. Now Bhishma Pitama is the only person who saw the entire war. बाकी सब लोग बीच-बीच में मरते गए. But Bhishma Pitama fell down on the 10th day of the war, but was still alive to see the consequence of the war or the result of the war. So that is the reason why he was decorated in nice, beautiful dresses. And here Sukadeva Goswami mentioning that even Krishna was seated in the chariot along with Arjuna. And of course, Yudhishthira was appearing very aristocratic, like Kuvera, surrounded with his companions. जैसे कोई कुबेर भगवान, जैसे कुबेर देवता कैसे एकदम अच्छे, मतलब कुबेर is treasurer of the देवी देवतास. तो जो ट्रेजरर है, जिसके पास इतना पैसा है, वो खुद भी कितना अच्छे कपड़े पहन के जाएगा. तो वैसे लग रहे थे युधिष्ठिर महाराज. या नेक्स्ट वर्स.
Seeing Bhishma lying on the ground like a demigod fallen from the sky, the Pandava king Yudhishthira, along with his younger brothers and Lord Krishna, bowed down before him.
Next. Okay, someone else reads. Okay, he is reading continuously.
Just to see the chief of descendants of Krishna, King Bharata, Vishnu, all the great souls in the universe, namely the rishis amongst the demigods, Brahmanas and kings, all situated in the quality of goodness, were assembled there.
Next verse.
All the sages like Parvata Muni, Narada, Dhaumya, Vyasa, the incarnation of God, Brahatsva, Bharadwaja and Parshurama and disciples Vasishta, Indra Mada, Trita, Kritsamada, Asita, Kaka Sivan, Gautama, Atri, Kaushika and Sudarsana were present.
Now the next verse is still more interesting. Then we will discuss all the three verses together. Next verse.
And many other like Sukdeva Goswami and other purified souls, Kashyapya and Angirasa and other, all accompanied by their respective disciples, arrived there.
Two important things you have to learn from here. One is Shukdev Goswami आए वहाँ. That is most important. वे जो भागवतम बोलने वाले वो भी वहाँ पहुँच गए. And this Sudha Goswami is telling to the 88,000 rishis at Naimisharanya. उनको बता रहे हैं कि शुकदेव गोस्वामी आए थे वहां पे और कश्यप, अंगिरा, all of them came. उसके पहले तो पूरा लिस्ट दिया है. Earlier verse में has given the list of Gautama, Tri, Kaushika, Sudarshana, then Vashishta. Everyone has come. इतने लोग आए ठीक. But what was the most important line? They arrived with their respective disciples. Rishis did not come alone. So what does this mean? Disciple should be always with the teacher. The teacher and disciple should never be separate. That is why this specifically it is mentioned. They came with their respective disciples. So whether the teacher goes, the disciple should also follow. Now the very important verse which we will be discussing at large. Okay, next verse. Someone else reads.
Vishnu Deva, who was the best amongst the eight Vasus, received and welcomed all the great and powerful rishis who were assembled there, for he knew perfectly all the religious principles according to time and place.
So here is the secret of the earlier birth of Bhishma Pitamaha. क्या बोला उन्होंने? The best among the 8 Vasus. Now let's go back to Mahabharata story. Now who was Bhishma Pitamaha in his earlier life? Bhishma Pitamaha was none other than the 8 Vasus. उसमें से एक वसु का नाम था प्रभास. प्रभास की पत्नी ने प्रभास को बोला, I want the Kamadhenu cow of Vashishta Muni, because it's like an ATM bank. जो मांगो मिलता है. कामधेनु means whatever you ask for you will get. बोला, please get me that cow. So he, along with his 7 brothers, the total 8 Vasus. So प्रभास plus his 7 Vasus. ये लोग ने मिलके क्या किया? एक प्लान बनाया कैसा उस गाय को चुराना है. And they stole also. Successfully they stole the cow also. But in the process they got caught. And Vashishta Muni gave him a shrapa. See the contrary. Vishwamitra, that is King Kaushika, was also trying to take the Kamadhenu cow. He first offered him, भाई लाखों गाय ले ले, सोना ले, चांदी ले, मतलब बहुत सारा ऑफर किया. He said no. Then he said, I am the king. It's rightfully, I am the owner of it. So you give it to me. He didn't give. तो उसने क्या किया? जबरदस्ती उसने खींचा. तभी भी उसने रोका नहीं उसको. Neither did he curse him. He didn't do anything. Only he did one thing was he killed his 100 sons. उसके 100 पुत्र आए थे वशिष्ठ मुनि को पकड़ने के लिए. तो उन्होंने सिर्फ वशिष्ठ ने ऐसा देखा, एक हुंकार किया और 100 के 100 मरे. And then the cow came running to him, Kamadhenu cow, and she started crying. अरे भाई मुझे कुछ बचाओ. You are the boss. You have to save me. He said, what can I do? I am not a Kshatriya. I am a big Brahmana. And you are strong enough to protect yourself. तब उसके स्तन में से, गाय के स्तन में से, कामधेनु के स्तन में से varieties of soldiers came. That is what we see, Yavanas, Malechas, Khas and all that. Those all soldiers were created from the udder of the cow, Kamadhenu. And they fought the entire army and defeated the entire army of Vishwamitra. But यहाँ पे, was the cow not smart enough to protect herself this time? But here the reason was he cursed. He cursed. And what did he curse? That favorite curse of all Rishi Munis. तुम इस धरती पे जन्म लोगे. क्या फेवरेट कर्स? ये धरती पे जन्म लोगे. हम लोग तो जन्म लेने के लिए उत्सुक थे. कैसे जन्म ले, कैसे इस दुनिया धरती का मजा ले, how to enjoy in this world. And मतलब for Rishi Munis when they curse, मतलब एकदम घटिया चीज देंगे ना. कर्स में कोई अच्छा चीज तो देगा नहीं आपको. उसको कर्स क्या किया? May you be born as humans. तो सबको रियलाइज हुआ, अरे बाबा ये तो बड़ा मिस्टेक वी हैव डन. So went and fell at his feet and begged for mercy. That is the greatness of a true rishi, a true sage. And they fell at their feet and they asked, please हमको माफ कर दो. That time वशिष्ठ मुनि said, ठीक है, तुमको माफ करेंगे. तुम लोग को वो यातना सहनी पड़ेगी जो माँ के गर्भ में जाने का होता है, वो यातना सहना पड़ेगा. बट जन्म लेते ही, जन्म लेना भी एक यातना है. The process of coming out from the mother's womb itself is a big pain which we don't realize or we don't remember. We all have undergone it, but we don't remember it. So once you are out, you will be freed from this. But Prabhas, since you have done the main, you are the main, what do you say, the planner, or you have done the conspiracy of, taking the cow, you will have to stay for a long, long period and suffer. So suffering as a human is a very, very wretched suffering. So he was one of the 8 Vasus. That is why when Ganga got married to, what was that? Shantanu. So Shantanu was, that was love at first sight. He saw Shantanu and she saw Shantanu and Shantanu saw Ganga Devi, and they both decided to get married. She put a condition, याद रखना, मैं जो भी करूं, you will not question. Shantanu said, yes, okay, done. As it is, he was a very nice husband. That's the definition of a nice husband, right? In modern terms. So he said, fine, I will not ask you anything. Whenever the child used to be born, Ganga used to take the child, newborn child, and put it in the river, Ganga river. So, as a father, he was cherishing his children. But first child gone, second child gone, third, 4, 5, 6, 7. All 7 she put. They were none other than the 7 Vasus. जन्म की पीड़ा हुई, मगर तुरंत ही उसको मुक्ति भी मिल गई. They went back. But the 8th one, the youngest one, that is why who was the best among the 8. That is why he is Bhishma Pita is referred to as the best among the Vasus. So she gave birth to him, this time Shantanu could not control himself. He said, I will have to ask you, this is too much. 7 children of mine. अभी उसको पता थोड़ी है कि ये 8वां बच्चे को मारने वाली नहीं. She's not going to kill the 8th child because the child was destined to live long, very long. But he says, he asks her, what are you doing? You have already killed 7. She immediately, Ganga says, you had promised me that you will not ask me the question, but now you asked, so I am leaving you and going. So, and she took the child with her. So Devrata was taken. Her actual name was Devrata. So she took him. She took the child and she went to her, Devaloka, Ganga Devi, and there he got learning from Brahaspati, the guru of the Devatas. He learned archery and warfare from Parshuram. So he became a great personality. And then, when he came to a sizable age, she came and left him back to Shantanu, back to the king. She gave him, sent her back the son to that because he had to live long. लंबा जीना था उसको, तो छोड़ दिया. अब प्रॉब्लम यहाँ पे ये था कि गंगा छोड़ के गई तो शांतनु was sad. एक दिन ऐसे ही घूमते घूमते गए और उसको सत्यवती दिख गई। तो ऐसे सत्यवती was supposed to be very very beautiful and she had already conceived Vyasa through Parashara Muni. So now Vyasa had blessed her. You will not lose your virginity. Sorry, not Vyasa. Parashara Muni had blessed her that you will not lose your virginity. Secondly, you will be not now having a fishy smell. A fisherman, as a fisherman's daughter, she had a fish, like a dirty odor. So he said, "आप चिंता मत करो. Now you will be known as Gandha Yojini." Gandha मतलब smell, good fragrant smell. योजन, एक योगजन के दायरे पे आपका सुगंध रहेगा. So that time now she had become more beautiful, and that time Shantanu comes and asks her, "Will you marry me?" She says, "Contact my father." So he went and asked father, "Okay, I want to marry your daughter." He said, "No, you can't marry my daughter." Now why? See, if you marry her, the son born to her should rule the kingdom. And she said, "No." King said, "No, I can't do that. Already I have got an elder son. Devrata I have already got. So वो rule करेगा kingdom. So then that condition you can't marry my daughter." So he came back home and then एकदम दुखी आदमी बन गया, एकदम sad. He was always thinking of her only, and he was crying that he could not marry her. So Bhishma Pitama, it was Devrata that time. He asked, "Why are you sad, father? Why are you sad?" He says, "See, I am sad because I wanted to marry Satyavati, but she said, my father said, no, I can't. He will not give his daughter because he wants her son to become the king." So he says, "Okay, I will sort out this matter." So Bhishma Pitama goes over there and he talks with her father, Satyavati's father, who was a chief among the fishermen. He was वहां का कबीले का वो सरदार जैसा था. उसको बोला, "देखो, you are saying that the son born to her should be the king. I renounce my right. ज्येष्ठ पुत्र में हूं, बड़ा पुत्र में हूं, मुझे मिलना चाहिए, बट मैं रिनाउंस कर रहा हूं, आपको दे रहा हूं मैं वो राइट. आपका पुत्र को ही आपका मतलब सत्यवती से जो बच्चा पैदा होगा उसी को राजा बनाएंगे." बट सत्यवती's father said, "No, no, no. You are saying is okay, but what about your sons? They will put the claim later on." कुछ ज्यादा है नो लॉन्ग टर्म प्लानिंग, लॉन्ग टर्म प्लानिंग था कि भाई your sons will ask. You are not saying okay, I agree. I agree to your word, but आपके बच्चे क्लेम करेंगे हमको तुरंत में गद्दी पे बैठना है, तो उसके लिए क्या करें? तो that time Bhishma Pitama takes a pratigya. He takes an oath that is called as Bhishma Pratigya. And what does he say? That I will not marry. Whole life I will follow celibacy. And not only that, if I don't marry, there is no question of any child. So there is no any other uttaraधिकारी. And last but not the least, I promise that till the end, I will see to that the throne is in the right hand. But Acharyas have very nice understanding. Now, there are so many people in the material world also who don't marry. When Bhishma took this pratigya, कहते हैं कि देवलोक से flowers came. It was a big celebration. They were playing the kettle drums and very nice. Apsara started dancing and all that. ऐसे तो so many people are without marriage. क्या उनके लिए flowers गिरते हैं क्या? तो आचार्य से first and foremost for a raja to maintain celibacy is next to impossible. Kings are the most passionate people. That is why kings are officially allowed to marry more than one wife. राजा की 5-10 पत्नियां भी हो सकती है. It is official. For that, coming from a Kshatriya kul, from a Kshatriya clan, for a person to not to marry or not to produce children, he did not say, I will not marry. Mind you, Bhishma Pratigya clearly says, I will follow celibacy throughout my life. And Acharya say further, there is only one line mentioned in the Mahabharata. The Mahabharata states that when Bhishma Pitamaha died, the fire, now how is this fire given? एक ब्राह्मण, वैश्य एंड क्षत्रिय तीनों का कंपल्सरी एवरी डे दे आर सपोज टू डू अग्निहोत्र. Agnihotra means what? Offering, doing homa, sacrifice, fire sacrifice in the house. It doesn't take much, it takes small time, but it is compulsory. Why? Because 5 types of sin everyone does in his life, in day to day life. Kutani, marjanam, pesani and chulli, all these things. That is, जैसा हम आग लगा के गैस जलाते हैं, पहले जमाने में लकड़ा हुआ करता था, उसमें जीव मरता था. पानी में जीव है, झाड़ू मारते हैं तो उसमें जीव है. So there are so many ways by which knowingly unknowingly we are all doing some sin or the other. So उन sins को neutralize करने के लिए अग्निहोत्र was supposed to be done. So and this can be done only and only by a married person. Only a married person. So the fire used for igniting, even actually speaking technically as per Shastra, that's why घर में एक पुजारी आके वो मतलब पंडित जी आते हैं और घर में आग जला के इसमें लेके जाते हैं. क्यों डायरेक्टली वहां जाके आग लगा सकते हैं, क्यों घर से क्यों आग लगे जाते हैं? That is the significance. Even today we see people ना जब मर जाते हैं तो घर से आग लेके स्मशान भूमि तक जाते हैं और वहां पे जाके वो आग उनकी छाती पे डालेंगे, शव के छाती पे डालेंगे. कारण क्या है? That is supposed to signify the fire of Agnihotra carried by you to the smashan. So the son carries that. Son or the male or a grandson, if the case may be, he may carry it and he will put it over there. Now here, the understanding comes is the time when Bhishma Pitamaha was taking the vow of celibacy, he was already married. मैरिड व्यक्ति का ही अग्निहोत्र हो सकता है और उसने अग्निहोत्र का अग्नि इस्तेमाल किया है उसके अंतिम क्रियाक्रम के लिए. इसका मतलब क्या? भीष्म पिता was married, but though there is no official name mentioned in the Mahabharata, it states that Bhishma Pita was married. But for just a newly married person to take a vow of celibacy, that too for a Kshatriya, is supposed to be very, very next to impossible. And for that is the reason why Devatas showered flowers on him. And not only that, he had a big role to play. He was a great devotee. He was one of the 12 Mahajanas. There are 12 Mahajane हैं. उसमें से one of the 12 Mahajanas is Bhishma Pitamaha. मन में आस, प्रभु जी अगर इतने बड़े महाजना थे तो दुर्योधन के साइड से क्यों युद्ध लड़े? एक द कॉमन अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज भाई उन्होंने प्रतिज्ञा ली थी कि उस थ्रोन, उस राजगद्दी पे जो बैठा है उसका मैं रक्षा करूंगा. ही डिडंट से जो सही रहेगा उसकी रक्षा करूंगा, क्योंकि राजगद्दी का रक्षा करूंगा. और भले वहां बैठा था दुर्योधन और उसको बोला उसका भी रक्षा करना है, आई हैव टेकन अ प्रतिज्ञा. सो ही गिव, एंड व्हेन ही टुक दिस प्रतिज्ञा, his father blessed him that since you have taken such a deadly vow, for my sake you have even left for my happiness you have left the throne of the kingdom. I bless you that you will have a long life and ichha mrityu. जब आप चाहोगे तब प्राण छोड़ोगे. But he didn't give him immortality, mind you. He just gave him ichha mrityu. Fine. So he took that Ichamriti vow. So now general understanding is people will say yes, because he was taking care of the entire clan, it was nice. Then why did he join the Duryodhana army? General understanding is since he had already नमक खाया है तो उसके साइड में रहना पड़ेगा. But the higher understanding is, Acharya says, he deliberately went and joined the Duryodhana party because he wanted to see Krishna fighting. That is possible only in the war to see in the opponent. He cannot see. अभी समझो उसके साथ वही टीम में रहता तो बार बार घूम के थोड़ी कृष्ण को दिखने को. If he wanted to see Krishna fighting, he had to see him only in the opposite side. So he said, I don't mind being in any side, but I want to see Krishna. Always मेरे आंखें सामने भगवान होने चाहिए. So he joined the opposite side. So this is the bhava of the acharyas. I mean, that's how we have to understand. So of course, then we know about the विचित्र वीर के लिए वो 3 लेडीज को लेके आया, अम्बा, अंबिका और अंबालिका. So उसमें से अम्बा already was having a love affair with some other king who tried to stop Bhishma Pitama, but Bhishma Pitama was a great warrior. हार गया, वापस चला गया. एंड यहाँ आने के बाद अम्बा ने बताया, no, I am already loving that king. He sent her back. The king said, no, I cannot accept you now because I have been defeated. So you are his property. You go back. She said, Bhishma Pitama, now he has rejected me. Vichitraveer has rejected me. Now you marry me. Bhishma Pitama said, sorry, I am already declared. मैं नहीं कर सकता हूँ. I can't fight. So immediately she went and no, she didn't curse. She went to Parshuram. She went to Parshuram and said, आप टीचर हो ना, आप बताओ, आप बोलो, समझाओ. तो दोनों के अंदर युद्ध हुआ. I mean, there is a secret incident which happened in the war. I mean, we all know the general war, but there is a secret ingredient in that. The war happened. First and foremost, Parshuram said, I will not fight with you. Bhishma Pitama said, I will not fight with you. Parshuram said, Dekho, now this girl has come and requested me. So I want you to marry her. You keep my words. Bhishma Pitama said, I have already taken the vow of celibacy, so I can't marry. In any quarter I cannot marry. He said, no, you will have to marry. You have to keep your words of your teacher. He said, agreed. You tell me, give my life, I am ready to give my life, but I will not marry. So then you will have to fight me. No problem, I will fight you. If that is your request, I will fight you. So they both stood in front of each other. And before the war, the same thing what happened with Yudhishthira, the same happened here also. Bhishma Pitama went down, got down the chariot and fell at his feet. Said, sorry. And then he realized, I am on a chariot, you are not on a chariot, there is no fight in equals, right? The fight should be in equals. Then Parshuram gives him a divine eyes. And with the divine eyes, Bhishma Pitama is able to see. Parshuram is sitting on a chariot. The whole earth has taken the shape of a chariot. The rishis have become the horses. Saraswati and Parvati, all this, they have become kavach. They have become kavach for her. And who is the charioteer? Vayu Devata. Vayu Devata is the charioteer for her. So he sees all that. Okay, now we are equals. He goes and falls at his feet. The Parshuram was there. Okay, now that you have taken my blessings, I will not see to that. You try to protect your words, I will try to protect my words. Let's see what happens. And a deadly war happens. On the 28th day or something, I forgot the number of the day, the exact number of days, the war happened, the deadly war.
18.
No, not 18. It was 20, something plus 20. 28th day, if I am not mistaken. Bhishma Pitama prays to his pitros, that is his ancestors, कि भाई मुझे इस युद्ध में मुझे लड़ना नहीं. I am not interested in fighting my guru, my teacher. I am not interested in fighting, but he is saying you have to fight. ऐसा कुछ करो कि मेरा बात भी रह जाए और समाप्त हो जाए, युद्ध भी समाप्त हो जाए. तो पितृस गिव हिम अ स्पेशल अस्त्र. ये अस्त्र का स्पेशलिटी क्या है? इससे भीष्म पितामह अगर फायर करेंगे तो परशुराम जी रणभूमि में सो जाएंगे. He will sleep. And as per Shastra, a sleeping person is as good as a dead man. So then you can stop the war, because he just wanted a reason to stop the war. But the next day when he was ready with the weapon, to fire the weapon, that time a celestial voice, Akashvani hui, और आकाशवाणी में बोला कि you should not use this weapon against Parshuram ji. And all the demigods requested, please stop this fight. Parshuram said, how can I stop the fight? No, it's a matter of prestige. उस जमाने में those things, words had value. Today people don't have value. Just कुछ भी बोला, मैं बोला क्या अच्छा बोलेगा नेक्स्ट विद लास्ट, मैंने कब बोला ऐसा कुछ, पलटी मारेंगे. तो उस जमाने में ऐसा नहीं था. पीपल हैड वर्च्यूज. तो ही इमीडिएटली टेल्स, इफ as long as the opponent is there in the warfield, I have to fight. If the opponent goes away, I will not fight. That's what Parshuram says. Immediately, Bhishma Pitama, he doesn't have any ego. He doesn't have any ego. He quietly moves away from the battlefield as if he has lost, and he moved aside. People, make wrong claims, stating, Bhishma Pitama हार गया, Parshuram ji हार गए, Bhishma Pitama. कोई हारा नहीं. A teacher cannot never lose in front of a student. But Bhishma Pitama was, he showed his humbleness, and he, bent his head and quietly moved away. And then Parshuram had to stop the war, because now that he has moved away, stop the war. So the war stopped. And that is where Amba then worshipped Shiva. And she said, no, I want to kill, I want to take revenge. Because okay, next birth you will be the cause of his death. And that is why next birth she is born as Shikandi. Shikandi was born as a female, but had all the qualities of a male Kshatriya. And this Bhishma Pitama knew very well. Of course, then you all know the history of the war it happened. I'll tell you, next lecture I will discuss about the greatness of Bhishma Pitama in the war. Still time, I think I can take that. It is said, when Bhishma Pitama the war started between the Kauravas and the Pandavas. So, very powerful war was going on. 1 second. Okay, I'll take that. Just let's read 3 verses more.
Lord Shri Krishna, Lord Shri Krishna is situated in everyone's heart, yet he manifests his transcendental form by his eternal potency. This very Lord was sitting before Bhishma Dev, and since Bhishma Dev knew of his glories, he worshipped him duelings.
So first and foremost, who identified Krishna as God? Bhishma Pitama himself was very much aware that he is none other than God. Next verse.
The sons of Maharaja Pandu were sitting silently nearby, overtaken with affection for their dying grandfather. Saying this, Bhishma Deva congratulated them with feeling. There were tears of ecstasy in his eyes, for he was overwhelmed by love and affection.
So it was a very emotional situation where Bhishma Pitama sees Yudhishthira and the other Pandus, and seeing them he is on the verge of crying. Why does he cry? कोई कहेगा खुशी के आंसू हैं, कोई कहेगा ये है वो है. The next verse gives the answer to this question. Very, very important verse and very powerful verse. Please understand this. Aho anyayam, aho kashtam, aho anyayam, yad yujan dharma nandanaha. Jivitam na harati klishtam vipra dharma achyuta ashrayaha. Very, very important. This is what Bhishma Pitama talks about the Pandavas, especially about Yudhishthira Maharaj. He says, aho kashtam, aho anyayam. इसने कभी ये वर्ड दुर्योधन के लिए नहीं वापरा, सिर्फ पांडव के लिए वापरा, सिर्फ युधिष्ठिर के लिए वापरा. What did he say? अहो कष्टम अहो अन्यायम. क्या कष्ट सहा तूने, क्या अन्याय सहा तूने. You have undergone maximum कष्ट and maximum अन्याय. क्यों? Why does it specify that? Had it been दुर्योधन, अन्याय के साथ अन्याय होना चलेगा, बट तू सही था, यू आर स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड, फिर भी तेरे साथ दिस इज वेरी रॉन्ग. दैट इज वाई द फर्स्ट ही स्टार्ट्स इन भागवतम ही स्टार्टिंग ऑफ कोर्स Mahabharata. It's a very elaborate description of the meeting of the Pandavas with the Bhishma Pitama. It's a very elaborate one, and finally, of course, the Vishnu Sahasranam is also spoken by him only, and where he gives the entire Niti Shastra, Yuddha Shastra, all Shastra के बारे में he gives the details, understanding to Yudhishthira Maharaj कि कैसे एक राजा को या चक्रवर्ती को होना चाहिए, कैसे he should deal with situations with ladies, how this matters to him. It's dealt at large that point, but यहाँ पे इतना डिटेल में नहीं है भागवतम में. So just a little concise, but first in this Bhagavatam he starts with this Bhishma starts by saying this aho kashtam aho anyayam yet yudan dharma nandanaha. Oh dharm ke nandan, what have you undergone? Read the translation a little louder, someone else fast.
Bhishma Deva said, what terrible suffering and what terrible injustice. You good soul suffer for being the son of rangers personified. You did not deserve to remain alive under those tribulations, yet you were protected by the Brahmanas, God and riches.
Yet Yuyam means good souls. तुम अच्छे आत्मा है, मतलब good people. Dharmanandana, son of religion personified. जीवितम न अर्थम क्लिष्टमानाम, तुमको जीने का कोई हक ही नहीं. जो तुम्हारे साथ जो अन्याय हुआ है, there was no chance, no possibility for you to survive. जीने के लिए कोई चांस ही नहीं था. जीवितम न अर्हति, you don't deserve. क्लिष्टम, क्लिष्टम means suffering, इतना तकलीफ उठाया, but क्यों बचे तुम लोग? The secret lies here. विप्र धर्म अच्युत आश्रयः. What is विप्र? ब्राह्मण. ब्राह्मणों का कभी तूने साथ नहीं छोड़ा. You never said कि मुझे अब ब्राह्मण की जरूरत नहीं, या मैं खुद तकलीफ में हूं. When Yudhishthira Maharaj was exiled, all the brahmanas followed Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj did not say, अरे मेरे खुद के वांदे हैं, तुम लोगों को क्या संभालो. He didn't say that. He said, yes, when brahmanas have come, I am supposed to serve. यहाँ तक कि जब दुर्वासा मुनि आए थे 66,000 ऋषिस के साथ, sorry 80,000 ऋषिस के साथ, आओ खाना खाने आओ, बोल तो दिया, था नहीं कुछ. टेंशन द्रौपदी को, इसको टेंशन नहीं. But that also means that was the purpose of that Akshaya Patra. Akshaya Patra was not only for the Pandavas. Pandavas could live only on eating fruits and roots also. The Akshaya Patra was only meant for the sadhus, the rishis, the vipra, the brahmanas who were coming to meet the Pandavas. And all sadhus used to come to meet the Pandavas. कोई दुर्योधन पार्टी में कोई नहीं जाता, कोई मिलने जाता ही नहीं था. So he says, vipra, dharma. धर्म कभी कभी तूने साथ नहीं छोड़ा. You never left the path of dharma. Here dharma means righteousness. It doesn't mean Hindu dharma, Muslim dharma. No, that is not dharma. Dharma means धारयति इति धर्म. जो आपका जो धर्म है, जो आपका कर्तव्य है, जो आपका ड्यूटी है, वो निभाना ही धर्म. And here he is referring to dharma. When was that? Name is not coming. Vidura was none other than Yamraj, Dharma personified. Yudhishthira is also Dharmaraj's son. Yudhishthira is also Dharmaraj's son. When he was exiled for 13 years, 12 plus 1, ये चला गया जंगल में जाके बैठ गए वो लोग. विदुर on the 13th day सुबह गया, वो रथ लेके गया. बाकी पांडव भी रेडी. अदर देन युधिष्ठिर महाराज, एवरीवन अपना मुकुट उकुट डाल के एकदम चकाचक रेडी. He says, चलो let's go back to the kingdom. Now your 13 years are over. So Yudhishthira asked, where is my 13 years over? He said, see, there is a clock. In the rule book, there is a clock. In certain circumstances or in unavoidable circumstances, या आपातकालीन स्थिति जिसे कहते हैं ना, unavoidable or disastrous stages, वहां पे 13 days is equal to 13 years. You can come. And who is coming to take them? Vidura himself, who is acknowledged by the entire Kaurava and the Pandava and he is a brother of Duryodhana. दुर्योधन का भाई है. पांडु दुर्योधन सॉरी धृतराष्ट्र पांडु एंड इसका भाई है. तो अंकल हुए पांडु युधिष्ठिर और सबके लिए अंकल हुए, चाचा हुए. तो he should they should and when he says everyone agrees, but what did Yudhishthira say? No, for me 13 years means 13 years only. For me 13 days is not equal to 13 years. He told Arjuna, Bhima, जाओ तुम लोगों को जाना है जाओ. I will complete my 13 years and come. So they said no, if you are not going to go, we are also not going to go. So this shows how Yudhishthira Maharaj was Dharmanandana. How he was following, he was under the shelter of Dharma, following his religion. And last but not the least, when the Yaksha killed all the 4 brothers, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul and Sahadev. Sare mar gaye the. And there is a very famous, that Yaksha Kund is there in Vrindavan. Aaj bhi hai open, of course. It's in a bad state, but that place, because they were staying in Vrindavan, tabhi ye hua lila. So Yaksha, he is very happy with the answers given by Yudhishthira Maharaj. He says, एक जन को जिंदा करता हूँ, कोई भी एक भाई को, बोलो उस भाई को. He says, सहदेव को जिंदा करो. He says, सहदेव को क्यों जिंदा करो? तुम्हारा सग्गा भाई है, वो तो तुम्हारा मदर सन ना, मतलब हाफ ब्रदर, नॉट फुल ब्रदर. तुम्हारा सग्गा अर्जुन है, भीम है, you need them. Why you are not asking for them to selecting them? You are selecting. He says, see, मैं ऑलरेडी कुंती का एक लड़का हूँ, मैं जी रहा हूं, तो मैं चाहता हूं कि माधुरी का भी एक लड़का जिए. हम सब पांडु के पुत्र हैं, मगर माधुरी का भी एक पुत्र, तो एक माधुरी का पुत्र और एक मैं. यक्ष इतना खुश हो गया, सबको जिंदा कर, सबको जिंदा कर. पॉइंट इज he was sticking to dharma. At that point also he did not say नहीं मुझे अर्जुन प्रिय है या भीम मुझे प्रिय है. He didn't say that. He said I am equal to all. So he took Sahadev, but he said no, I am giving all. So this is why it is said Vipra, Dharma, and last is Achyuta. Achyuta means the supreme personality of God, Vishnu or Krishna, whatever you call. उनका कभी तूने ये 3 लोगों का आश्रय, you have taken आश्रय, you have been protected by them, and that is why अहो अन्यायम अहो कष्टम, इतना अन्याय इतना कष्ट तू सहा, इसके वजह से तू सहा पाया क्योंकि you are always under their divine protection. and तूने उनका आश्रय लिया था, विप्र का आश्रय लिया था, धर्म का आश्रय लिया था, और लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट तूने अच्युत का आश्रय लिया. एक्चुअली ही इज मेकिंग द बेस ग्राउंड. बट ये जो अच्युत जो भगवान का तू आश्रय लिया ना, वो देख सामने खड़ा है ना, वही चीट चोर कृष्ण बैठा है सामने खड़ा, वही भगवान. Read the next verse.
As far as my daughter-in-law Kunti is concerned, upon the great general Pandu death, she became a widow with many children, and therefore she suffered greatly. And when you were grown up, she suffered a great deal, also because of your action.
Next.
In my opinion, this is all due to inevitable time, under whose control everyone in every planet is carried, just as the clouds are carried by the wind.
सर्वम काल कृत्य मन्ये. बोलता ना, टाइम खराब हो ना, कितना भी पावरफुल इंसान क्यों ना हो, he is useless. Nothing can work against him. That is why the words used is, the Sanskrit shloka says, सर्वम काल कृत्य मन्ये भवताम च यत् अप्रियम, कुछ भी तुम्हारा प्रिय होगा नहीं, तुम्हारा खुद का कुछ भी नहीं होगा. टाइम इज द सुप्रीम. एंड हु इज कंट्रोलिंग टाइम? सो तुम्हारे साथ जो भी हुआ है, इट इज ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ time. So time was bad, nothing could be done. Just imagine from Chakravarti to just like a nomad, you are moving around in the jungle. कहते हैं कि उनका गद्दा ऐसा हुआ करता था, मलमल का गद्दा and soft, and Draupadi was forced to live in the jungle in most horrible conditions, that too after all that insult which happened in the Dvip Krida. Many acharyas say when Duryodhan called Shakuni for playing the game of dice, he could have called Krishna, but he said no. धर्म है कि मुझे बुलाया खेलने के लिए, मैं खेलूं. मुझे बुलाया मैं खेलूं, भले मुझे आता नहीं है. He didn't know. He didn't say, hey, you are using a proxy player, I will also use a proxy player. He didn't say that. You are cheating, I will not cheat. So that is why it is all because of time. Yes, next verse.
Oh, how wonderful is the influence of an invisible time. It is irreversible. Otherwise, how can there be reverse in the presence of King Yudhishthira, the son of the demigod controlling religion, Bhima, the great fighter with a club, the great Hanuman Arjuna with his mighty weapon, Gandheva, and above all the Lord, direct well-wisher of the Pandavas.
See, here Bhima is referred to as Vikrodhar. विक्रोधर मतलब उसके पेट में विक्र नाम की अग्नि थी, इसके लिए उसका नाम विक्रोधर था. एंड ही सेज गधा प्राणिर, गधा प्राणिर मतलब जो गधा चलाने वाला ये. एंड ही सेज गांडीवम चाप्यम, जो गांडीव चलाने वाला अर्जुन वो भी था तुम्हारे साथ. बट फिर भी तुम्हारा टाइम इतना खराब था कि भगवान के होते हुए भी तुम्हारा कुछ नहीं हो पाया. What does this mean? This indicates to us also. Many people say, प्रभु जी मैं तो इतना भक्ति करता हूँ या करती हूँ और मेरे साथ ही दुनिया का सब प्रलय हो रहा है, सब प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है. भाई आपका टाइम ही खराब है, तो भगवान भी स्वयं होते हुए पांडवों का नहीं कर पाए जो धर्म के नीति पे चल रहे थे. आप तो अनीति के चल रहे हो. पांडवस वर नॉट ड्रिंकिंग, वर नॉट स्मोकिंग, वर नॉट ईटिंग नॉन वेज. आप लोग तो वो सब काम कर रहे हो और फिर यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग नहीं लॉर्ड, मैंने 4 माला किया है, आपको मेरा मदद करना ही पड़ेगा. सॉरी, लॉर्ड विल नॉट हेल्प, लॉर्ड कैन नॉट हेल्प. टाइम इज द सुप्रीम कंट्रोलर. टाइम के ऊपर किसी का कंट्रोल नहीं है. टाइम कंट्रोल्स एवरीवन, नोबडी कैन कंट्रोल टाइम. दैट इज द बेस्ट पार्ट ऑफ टाइम. The time is, you are in the clutches of time. Time is not in your clutches. Whereas, फिर भी उसमें उस वक्त में भी आप पार कैसे हो सकते हो? सिर्फ और सिर्फ भगवान का आश्रय लीजिए. By taking the shelter of the Lord only, you can come out. Okay, one last verse and then we
O King, no one can know the plan of the Lord Shri Krishna, even though a great philosopher inquire exhaustively, they are bewildered.
They are totally bewildered. Why? Because भाई कृष्ण को समझना. Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, what does Lord say? मनुष्यानाम सहस्रेषु कश्चित् तिष्ठते यततामपि सिद्धानाम कश्चित् मां वेति तत्वतः. अरे हजारों में से एक को शायद, कश्चित् means rarely, one will get सिद्धि. And out of those who have got siddhis, मतलब 1000 में से 1% लेके उन सबको जमा करो, उसमें से शायद ही कश्चित् माम वेति तत्वतः, मुझे तत्व में समझ पाएगा. That is Lord. It's very difficult to understand, that too with our less intelligent brain. We may be good, smart engineers, doctors, and this and that, but Lord, to understand Lord, you need to have a higher level of intelligence, and that higher level of intelligence is nothing else but unalloyed devotional service. where there should be no expectation. Without any expectation, when a person chants the name of the Lord, surrenders himself to the Lord, ready to act as per the Lord's direction, then that person he can understand God. तो भगवान को समझना अच्छे कि in the war, नारायण अस्त्र was fired from the Kauravas, and नारायण अस्त्र का कोई तोड़ नहीं. There is no way in which you can counteract the नारायण अस्त्र. तो कृष्ण को पूछा क्या करें, तो तुम्हारा अस्त्र है नारायण अस्त्र, मतलब आपका ही डिपार्टमेंट का, आपका अस्त्र, बोलो क्या करना चाहिए. कृष्ण बोला सब लोग झुक के बैठ जाओ, bow down, just bow down. That's the only way in which you can counter the नारायण अस्त्र. तो सब लोग रणभूमि में अर्जुन सब झुक गए. भीम, मैं नहीं झुकूंगा, मैं ऐसे खड़ा रहूंगा. सब लोग ने झुक जा, युधिष्ठिर बोल रहे हैं, सब लोग बोल रहे झुक. जबरदस्ती सब लोग ने पकड़ के झुका है. एंड जब वो झुका ना, तब जाके नारायण अस्त्री ने उसको कुछ नहीं किया और चला गया. सो व्हाट इज द थिंग इज, if anything approaches, even the Lord only has a solution to certain problems. No human, no warrior, no greatest of the greatest warrior does not have a solution. Only the Supreme God has the solution to such a situation. And when he creates a situation, he knows the solution. Now, next lecture we will discuss how Krishna the stuti will start. Most probably I will start with the stuti. तो स्तुति में Vishwamitra glorifies Krishna, and then he talks about the situation wherein he takes the Chakrapani wheel and goes to attack him and all that. तो उस प्रसंग में बहुत अच्छा वो we'll have nice stories to learn and many fantastic things we can learn in that. But it's very important that we understand the greatness of Bhishma Pitama. He is generally misunderstood by people because he was on the side of the Kauravas. Mind you, in the 18 days war, how was the division? 10 days he was fighting. And he makes one statement when Duryodhana asks him, you are not fighting properly. He says, my first, as a Senapati, my first, duty is to protect our army. Killing the enemy is secondary. I have to first protect the army. Otherwise, these Pandavas will vanish off. So I am protecting. My whole focus in the starting of the war. He says that when Duryodhana asks in the Mahabharata, he says, my main focus is protecting our army. We are not able to protect our army. You are worried about killing those people. Then the whole story starts. We will discuss next time. Okay, Hare Krishna. With this, we like to close today's session. Anybody has got any doubts, questions, can ask.
Over the Vasus,